Good afternoon. Just got my hair cut. Feeling fresh. Today I am going to explore the neighborhood of Užupis in Vilnius. I've briefly been there before, but I've never really wandered around and explored it, and thought I'd take you along with me to see what it's all about.
Hi, I'm Laura, and for the last 11 years, my boyfriend Luke and I have been living in different countries around the world. What was initially meant to be a year of travel after graduating from college quickly morphed into a lifelong love for exploring the world. Since we packed up those backpacks for the first time back in 2010, we have lived in New Zealand, Australia, South Korea, Mexico, and are now living in Lithuania. In between those settled years, we spent long periods of time traveling to over 20 different countries. And now, we're enjoying setting up a new life in a new country, very different from our last. And through these videos, I share my experiences with you. Užupis is a neighborhood located just a few minutes from the old town of Vilnius. Like many artistic neighborhoods around the world, Užupis was a run-down neighborhood with buildings so deteriorated that the people living there were relocated to safer housing. In the early 90s, young artists started squatting in the abandoned buildings along the Vilnila River and turned it into an art space called the Užupis Art Incubator. On April 1st, 1997, the residents of Užupis decided that they would declare independence, stating that an independent republic needs money, power, an anthem, a constitution, and above all, a free spirit. The art incubator was able to truly flourish after 2002, when the municipality of Vilnius agreed to a long-term lease on the property for the development of the Užupis Art Incubator. Between 2010 and 2014, the project was supported by the EU, and the building was reconstructed and adapted for long-term cultural use. There are now areas for artists and residents from around the world to be able to stay here at the incubator and create, grow, and learn from one another.
I read that they've even written a constitution, and it's translated into over 20 languages, so it's just up on a wall on one of the side streets, so I'm gonna go and find it and see what it says. There are 41 points to this constitution, and they are wonderful. A few of my favorites: everyone has a right to live by the river, and the river has the right to flow by everyone. Everyone has a right to die, but it is not an obligation. Everyone has a right to their unimportance. No one can share what they do not possess. Everyone has a right to cry. Everyone has the right to not be afraid. Do not defeat, do not fight back, do not surrender. I love that they're mirrored. Like, when you're reading it, you're looking at yourself. Like, it's, I don't know, like a promise to yourself almost, isn't it? It's very, I'm sure it's intentional, I imagine. But it's very cool. So many languages. Makes it so inclusive, doesn't it? There are artists from around the world here in residence at the institution there, and it's, yeah, very cool. Good vibes. Gotta go find some lunch now. I walked through the main plaza of Užupis, past a beautiful bookstore that unfortunately is only open on Fridays and weekends, and I made my way out to a cafe called Spoon Out, where I'd read I could try a dish that many of you have been recommending to me: stuffed cabbage. Stuffed with pork and served with potatoes, it looks and tastes about as delicious as every other pork and potato dish that I've had so far in Lithuania. That was so good. 10 out of 10 for the cabbage. Everybody recommended that we try that, so when I saw it on the menu, I thought, I have to get it. It was so yummy. When she first brought it out, I thought they were ceppaline, like she accidentally brought me them. They look like cabbage ceppaline. They were so delicious. It was much lighter. The perfect lunch option. 5 out of 10 for the service. Not great, but she was the only waitress, and it was so busy in there, so it happens.
I would go back because the food was very delicious and pretty reasonable. I got that big plate of food and a really delicious mint lemonade for €8, so about $10.
I walked east in Užupis along Palako Gatve, past some beautiful buildings, a small park, and into a quieter part of the neighborhood until I reached the Bernardines Cemetery, one of the oldest cemeteries in Vilnius, originally built by the Bernardine monks.
It was built in 1810, and it used to have like quite a big chapel and the wooden crosses that you see all over Lithuania. But now it's sort of a historical site, and it has lots of artists and professors that were so famous at the time buried here. I see a lot of Polish last names and a few different other foreign European names that aren't Lithuanian. So, very interesting. Although despite being a historical place, there are definitely still some newer burials here. There's a lot of tombstones from 2010 up to some that I've seen, so it's interesting how it's just gone grey and a little chilly and windy now with the trees, but it's a very peaceful place, is a cemetery. I don't make a habit of touring them in the world, but I do seem to find myself at them somewhat regularly. I've been to a lot of Catholic countries, but I've never seen crosses quite like the ones here in Lithuania. There are so many different styles and yeah, it's very eye-catching. I know that the cross crafting with the wood is it's a UNESCO protected art craft, but I'm fascinated constantly by how intricate and unique they are. Just like with every neighborhood I've been to in Vilnius, Užupis is like this very fluid, I don't know, new and old, like literally side by side, sometimes within each other, you know, these old homes with new exteriors or, new interiors. It feels like a city that's changing so quickly. Every time I come in and visit, there's something new and another neighborhood to explore and a new apartment complex popping up. It's a really beautiful place. And again, so much green space.
As I walked back towards the river, I passed through Tibet Square, where the Dalai Lama visited in 2001 on a trip to Vilnius. Then I walked along the river to go inside the Užupis Art Incubator Gallery and shop.
I've actually walked past that gallery a few times. I didn't realize that was part of the whole project here. It looks like they have new art every month or every 6 weeks or so, and the one in there now is really interesting. I didn't video it because it's yours to see when you come, but it's very cool, and it's one of the artists in residence right now. So yeah, I definitely want to read more about it, the artist in residence program. I think that's super interesting. I wonder if they take writers, but yeah, very cool space, very cool place. I've really enjoyed my afternoon here in Užupis, exploring, getting to know it a little bit better. I love the artistic vibe here. I love the history and story behind this place. I think it's really cool and interesting and fun. I'll definitely be back here. We definitely need to try the Užupis pizzeria. I promised Luke I'd wait for him to have a day off so we could try it together because, we've heard it's some of the best pizza in the city. So can you confirm or deny in the comments below? Let me know, what's your favorite pizza? I'd also love to know some of your other favorite neighborhoods around Vilnius. With the ease of the buses and not having a car right now, getting to and from Vilnius and exploring here is really one of the easiest things for me to do on my days off, and to bring you guys along with me to show you around. So
I hope you guys enjoyed this video and exploring Užupis as much as I did. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. It really supports my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye!